Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Computer Engineering Made Easy, and I am Anindita. In this tutorial we shall discuss about the doubly linked list. A doubly linked list is also a dynamic data structure just like a single linked list, and it may or may not be linear. Each element in a doubly linked list is a separate object, and the entire list can grow or shrink as per the demand of the user. The only difference between a single linked list and a doubly linked list is that, unlike the single linked list which has got only one pointer in a node, a doubly linked list has got two pointers. The first pointer is called the prev pointer, which is used to hold the address of the previous node, while the second pointer is called the next pointer, and this is responsible for holding the address of the next node, just like in case of a single linked list. The head variable located in the stack memory is a pointer to node type of variable, and it holds the address of the first node of the list. We are also considering another pointer type of variable called tail, which will be responsible in holding the address of the last node of the list. We are introducing this variable tail because introducing this variable tail is going to reduce the complexity of insertion of nodes in a linked list. So the purpose of this head node is to point or hold the address of the first node of the list, and the purpose of this tail node is to hold the address of the last node of the list. Thus, we can say that a node in a doubly linked list has got three parts. The first part is the previous part, which is basically a pointer to struct node type. It holds the address of the previous node. We have next the data member, which actually holds the information. And finally, we have got the next pointer, which holds the address of the next node of the linked list. The structure of the node, therefore, comprises of the three members: struct node star prev, int data, and struct node star next. So these are the three data members that we can see in the component of the node, and this is how the entire struct node structure is defined for the doubly linked list. After we have defined the node structure, let us now see how we can create a doubly linked list. Well, in order to create a doubly linked list, there can be two methods. The first method takes the value of a variable n as input from the user, and it creates a list comprising of this n nodes. While in the second method, only one node is created at a time, and then the user is asked whether the user wants to enter more nodes. If the user chooses to enter more nodes, accordingly more nodes are entered in the list. Otherwise, the control breaks out of the loop and the creation of the doubly linked list stops. Now let us see the assumption of both the methods. When we are creating functions for creating linked lists, we consider that the pointers head, tail, and temp, they are declared globally and are set to null. The type of these pointer variables is struct node star, and after they have been declared globally and set to null, the next thing that we need to do, or the next function that we need to develop, is the create node function. This create node function is responsible for creating a node. This function is going to be common for both method 1 as well as method 2. In either case, we have to create a node before creating a linked list. So therefore, firstly we create, or we write temp equal to struct node star malloc size of struct node. This particular line here is responsible for creating a node in the heap memory. For example, when we execute this statement temp equals to struct node star malloc size of struct node, a node is created in the heap memory of type struct node, and the base address of this node is stored in a variable called temp that is located in the stack memory. So 700 gets stored here, and this is the link that is established between the stack and the heap. Next, we execute temp next equal to null. This stores null in the next part of the node, and as we execute temp arrow prev equal to null, prev is also set to null in the node. Finally, we ask the user to enter the value of n, which will be stored in the data part of this node, and as the user enters the value, we store it in the address of temp arrow data. So whatever the user enters, that data gets stored over here. Finally, we return temp, that means the address that is stored in the variable temp gets returned to the calling function. Now after we have learned how to create a node, let us see how we can create the list. So first we will check out the method 1 by which we can create a list, and then we shall see the method 2. As we discussed earlier, in the method 1, the value of n is provided as input from the user, and accordingly a n node doubly linked list gets created. Say for example, we consider the value of n to be provided as 4. This means the loop for loop here is going to run for I equal to 0 to I less than 4. This is going to be the conditions of the for loop. So let us see how exactly the linked list gets created. Now in order to create the list, obviously we need the two parts of the memory, that is the stack memory and the heap memory. Now we know that we already have the head variable set to null. We have got the tail variable set to null, and we also have the variable temp set to null. So as I is less than 0, for the first time I is equal to 0. So when I is equals to 0, I is less than 4, so the control enters the loop. So now we are located at temp equal to create node. When this statement temp equal to create node gets executed, that means in the memory a chunk is assigned, and the address or the base address of this node, that is say 700, gets stored in the variable temp. So this indicates that a link like this has been established. After this, we check out the if condition. If head equal to null. Now this condition will be true only for the creation of the first node. Executed for the first time, it's only then that the head value will be null. So for the first time, now we are working with I equal to 0. So obviously head is equal to null. So the if condition becomes true. And as the if condition becomes true, we execute the lines head equal to temp. Now when we execute head equal to temp, this means whatever is the content of the variable temp, which in this case is the address 700, gets stored in the variable head, indicating that a link like this has been established. Now when we created the node function, create node function, when we executed that create node function, we have already stored some data over here. Now after this, we have got another statement left, that is tail equal to temp. Now this again initializes the value 700 stored in temp to get stored in the variable tail, thereby making it point to the first node 2. After this, we come to the end of the for loop and we go back with the incremented value of I. So I now becomes equal to 1, and since 1 is still less than 4, we enter the loop and we come across the statement temp equal to create node. So when temp equal to create node now gets executed, again another chunk of memory is assigned in the heap memory, and the address of this memory is assigned to the variable temp, indicating that this link no longer exists, but temp now points to the newly created node. We know in the create node function we store null in the previous and the next part, and we also store some data. Now if we check if head is equal to null, we find that this condition will become false. because head is already storing the address of the first node of the list. So therefore we come to the else part. In the else part, the first statement that we execute is tail next is equals to temp. Now tail is holding the address of the first node of the list. Therefore by tail next we mean this part of the first node. So that is going to store the value of temp. Now we have the value of temp as 200. So therefore instead of null, this part of the memory is now going to hold the address 200, indicating that this will now point to the second node of the list. After this we execute temp arrow pref is equal to tail. Now by temp arrow pref, temp is holding the address 200, and by temp arrow pref we refer to this part of the memory. So when we execute temp arrow pref equal to tail, that means whatever is stored in tail gets stored in the previous part of the temp variable, indicating 700 getting stored there and this backward link getting established. Finally, after this we have got the third statement that needs to be executed, that is tail is equals to temp. This means whatever is the content of temp will now get stored in tail, indicating the value 200 getting stored over here, and this link no longer exists. Instead, the tail also now points to the last node that has been created. After this, again we come to the end of the for loop, and again we go for incrementing the value of I. I now becomes 2 and 2 is still less than 4. So therefore we again execute the statement temp equal to create node. When we do that, again a third memory chunk is assigned in the memory, which is holding null in the previous and the next part, and 30 gets stored in it. Say the address of this chunk is 500, and this 500 will now be stored in the variable temp, indicating that this link is no longer existing, but instead of this, the temp pointer now points to this particular node in the linked list. After this, again we check if head is equal to null. We find head is equal to null, this condition becomes false. So we again come to the else part. Now in the else part we again execute tail next is equals to temp. Now what is tail now? Tail is now 200. And what is tail next? Tail next indicates to this portion of the memory. So we have to store the value temp, value or the content of the variable temp in the tail next part. That means this 500 will now get stored over here, indicating that it will no longer be null, but 500, that is the address of the last node created, will get stored over here, indicating a link like this has been established. Next we have got the statement temp arrow pref equal to tail, indicating whatever is there in tail will now get stored in the temp arrow pref part. So that means in tail we have 200, so temp arrow pref now will hold the value stored in tail instead of this null. That means this 200 will get stored here, indicating the backward link has been established. Finally, we execute tail equal to temp, indicating that whatever is the content of temp will now get stored in tail. That is 500 will get stored here, indicating that this link no longer exists, but this tail pointer now points to the last node that has been created. After this, we again increment the value of I to 3, and since 3 is still less than 4, we enter the loop again and we again execute temp equal to create node. As we do that, a fourth node gets created and we store null here and here, and say the value 40 gets stored. The address of the node is say 300. As we execute temp equal to create node, the memory chunk gets assigned, and the address of the memory chunk, that is 300, will now get stored in temp, indicating that temp will now point to the last or the newly created node. Now again we check the if condition. If head equal to null, we find it is false, so we obviously go to the else part. In the else part, we again execute tail next is equal to temp. That means whatever is there in the variable temp will now get stored in the tail next part, indicating that instead of null, the tail next part will now hold the newly created node's address, that is 300, indicating a link like this has been established. After this, we will execute the next statement, that is temp arrow pref equal to tail. That means the temp arrow pref part, that means this part, instead of holding null, will now hold the address of the variable tail, which is 500, indicating that 500 gets stored here. That means a backward link has been established. Finally, we execute the statement tail equal to temp. As we do that, this means that this 500 gets erased from here, and this no longer points to this particular node, but whatever is there in tail, that is 300, will now get stored in tail, indicating that tail will now point to the last node of the list. After this, we come to the end of the for loop once again, and the value of I gets incremented to 4. But this time we find this condition I less than 4 condition becomes false. So we break out of the loop and we find that our linked list comprising of 4 nodes, a double linked list comprising of 4 nodes has been created. Now moving on to the second method. In the second method, we can create list as per the user choice. Here we have first declared a variable ch, which is responsible for the choice of the user. If the user continues to enter 0 as the user choice, this while loop will continue executing, whereas if the user wants to stop adding more nodes, it only has to press 1 as per the choice given over here. So initially, since this ch is equals to 0, the control enters the loop and the statement temp equal to create node gets executed. So that means we have to consider the stack memory and the heap memory once again. So this is the stack memory and say this is the heap memory. So as we execute the statement, we have got variables head, temp and tail located in the stack memory. So as the control executes the statement temp equal to create node, that means a node is assigned in the heap memory which has got 3 members. The previous and the next part are set to null and some value is stored in the data part. Say the address of this node is 700. This 700 will get stored in temp, indicating a link like this has been established. Also, this head and tail are all initialized to null, so they will be holding the value null. Now we check if head is equal to null. We find this condition is true, and this condition will be true only for the first time, for the creation of the first node. So we find head is null at this point of time. So we execute head equal to temp. That means head, instead of holding null, will store whatever is there in temp. That is, the 700 gets stored in head, indicating a link like this has been established. At the same time, this tail equal to temp also gets executed, indicating that tail will also hold the address 700 that is stored in temp, and it will also point to this newly created node. After this, the user asks whether the control asks the user whether the user wants to add more nodes or not. So say the user presses 0. If the user presses 0, that means the ch variable also stores the value 0, and again the control goes back to the while condition. So this condition becomes true, and again we enter the loop. So now again temp equal to create node gets executed. On creating this, when the create node function gets executed, that means and again another chunk of memory is assigned in the heap, which is storing null in the previous and the next part and some data in the data part. So here say the address is 500. Now instead of 700, temp will hold the address this 500, indicating that it will now point to this newly created node. As it holds the address of the newly created node, next we check if head is equal to null or not. Now at this point of time, head is holding 700, that is the address of the first node of the list. So therefore it is definitely not null. So automatically the control goes to the else part. In the else part, the first statement that is executed is tail next is equal to temp. That means tail next, by tail next we mean this part. we will store whatever is there in temp in the tail next part. That means temp is holding 500, so this 500 will get stored over here, indicating that this is no longer null and a link between these two has been established. The next statement is temp arrow prev equal to tail. That means the temp previous part is going to hold whatever is there in tail, indicating that the 700 will now get stored over here and this is no longer going to be null, and at the same time a link is going to be established like this. After this, the last statement is tail equal to temp. This means that tail will now hold whatever is there in temp, that is 500, indicating that it is no longer going to point to this particular node, but instead it will point to the last node that has been created. Again, we check the user choice. If the user enters 0, choice is set to 0, and again this ch equal to 0 condition becomes true. And as it becomes true, we execute the statement temp equal to create node once again. That means again a chunk of memory is assigned in the heap, and say it is holding null in the previous and the next part, and say it is holding the value 30. Say the address of this newly created node is 200. So temp is now going to hold the address of this newly created node 200, and it is no longer going to point to the previous node, but it is going to point to the newly created node, that is this one. After this, again we check that if head is equal to null. Now as we said that when this loop iterates for the first time, only then the value of head will be null, and since we are operating or we are running it for the third time, head is definitely not null, so we go to the else part. In the else part, again we execute tail next is equals to temp. This means that whatever is there in temp, that is 200, will get stored in the tail next part, indicating that this is no longer null, but a link like this has been created. At the same time, we execute temp arrow prev equal to tail. That means whatever is there in tail will get stored in the temp prev part. So in the temp prev part, we stored the content of tail, that is 500. This indicates that it is no longer null here, but it is pointing to the previous node. After this, again we have executing the last statement, that is tail equal to temp. So when we execute tail equal to temp, that means tail is no longer going to hold 500, but it is going to hold the value stored in temp, that is 200, indicating that this link no longer exists, but tail will now point to the last node of the list. After this, again the control comes to this statement, printf statement, and asks for user choice. Say the user enters 1, so the control will find that this loop condition becomes false and will break out of the loop. With that, we come to the end of our today's tutorial. Hope you have learned something new. Please make sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.